And so as an owner, you may not be aware. If you're relatively new, you may not be aware. Or you could have established a process up front with somebody you hired 2 years ago, and they're just not following it anymore. And so you're assuming that things are happening according to XYZ, but they're not in reality.
Mm-hmm.
So back to as where we started, which is a process map and a process audit.
Mm-hmm.
And that has to start from whatever zero is and to whatever the finish line is, where product goes out the door and gets paid for, or where service gets completed and gets paid for.
Yeah.
And once
I
again,
like that idea of a map, like a visual map. That makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, and you may even want to diagram out a visual map, right?
Yeah.
And you can start with pencil and paper, right?
I
Don't
like that.
overcomplicate things and try to use AutoCAD. And there's 10,000 tools on the
Yeah. Yeah.
internet to, blah, 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 download an app, click through stuff. Pen and
Yeah.
paper works fine.
Just draw it out. Yeah.
Just draw it out, right? So you want to understand what's that process, and then who are the people and what are their responsibilities within each of those?
Mm-hmm.
And are they doing what they're supposed to be doing, right? Basic questions like that, because the next step is, after you've kind of had those conversations with the owner and you've got the owner view on how things are supposed to work or how they established them, months ago or years ago. Now you want to go talk to the actual people doing the work. You want to talk to the employees, talk to the frontline employees and the managers, and ask them, right? This always goes back to the classic, hey, I'm going to show my age here. I'm in my 40s. I don't care. You can know that, right? The Office Space movie with the consultants who go in and talk to the guys and say, tell me, what is it that you actually do?
What is it that you do here? Yeah.
Right? Well, tell me what you do here. And then, whatever, there's comedy scenes that come after that. But that's the point, is you're trying to understand, how do they spend their time, if they're spending it effectively.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, it's not always to kind of, hit people over with the head with, oh, you're wrong. It's more like you might be doing something better and faster because, hey, by the way, you were doing this for a year and you're like, this is a faster way to do it, so I just do it like this. But maybe that didn't get communicated to the person who runs the afternoon shift.
Yeah, so it's like fact finding.
You come in the morning and you figured out a way to do it and you do it, and then the person comes in at 3:00 on shift change and they do it a completely different way and they screw it up, and every morning you have to fix what they did. Yeah. And it's not getting, and then maybe the manager doesn't feel empowered to correct, employee 1 versus employee 2 and have what is a difficult conversation, because you've got people who are doing things differently and now you need to get on the same page. So somebody's going to have to say some feedback. Somebody's going to have to say, okay, great, I've heard from everybody, and now we're going to do this. Right? If you don't have a manager who's empowered to have that conversation and who has the right tools and who knows the boundaries of what they can change, what they can't change, what the implications are of the changes, are there cost implications, are there scheduling implications, are there legal implications, are there customer service implications, are there downstream, if you do it this way and it's not ready by 5:00, well then XYZ, the person who comes after you doesn't show up after 5:00. So that means it really kicks it to the following day. Yeah. So then you've got 3 hours of dead time or something at the end of your day when things could be happening, but they're not happening. Right. So once again, I just ran through kind of random examples, right?
That's right.
Around mapping out the process, committing it to paper, and then talking to the people and seeing if the people's actions map the process as intended. That applies everywhere.